So in this video today, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we have to talk about the stunning and brave, progressive trans swimmer Lia Thomas. You're all familiar with who they are. They dominated women's swimming, won an NCAA championship, which Riley Gaines famously spoke out on, and other issues that went on behind the scenes. But apparently, that NCAA championship wasn't enough. I don't know. Lia Thomas wanted to compete at the highest level, at the Olympic level. Imagine that on your TV screen. But the World Aquatics Association changed their policy a few months ago, banning men who identify as women from the female category unless they are transitioned by the age of 12, which is very concerning to think about. I don't even know why they thought that part was a good idea. And Lia Thomas couldn't stand this new rule, so they decided to take the legal route. And in January, it was reported that transgender swimmer Lia Thomas challenges World Aquatics ban on biological males competing alongside women in bid to feature at Paris 2024 Olympics. And now we have breaking news surrounding this result, and let's just say, it's actually quite shocking I'm gonna say this, right? Prepare yourselves. Common sense gotta win. I know we don't say that too often around here, do we? We'll be getting into all the news and I'll be taking a look at people like Riley Gaines reacting to it all. But before I do, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video, follow my socials down below in the description, and let's get into it. The Telegraph have reported Lia Thomas's transgender case thrown out after US swimmer ruled ineligible. Oh boy, the woke activists won't be happy about this one, will they? Lia Thomas, the swimmer who became the first transgender winner of an American collegiate title, has had his case against new World Athletics rules dismissed by the Court of Arbitration of Sport. World Aquatics banned transgender swimmers from the elite female category if they had undergone any part of male puberty following Thomas's NCAA win in 2022. Wow, I still can't believe they allowed him to compete, man. An intervention which ended Thomas's hopes of ever competing in women's swimming events at the Olympics. Such a shame. Thomas responded by lodging a legal challenge with CAS in September of last year, arguing that the rules were invalid and unlawful because they were discriminatory and contrary to the Olympic Charter and European Convention of Human Rights. You know, again, it's always about how these individuals feel. It's discriminatory, it's invalid, it's unlawful. CAS, however, has dismissed the case after concluding that the rules applied only to World Aquatics elite events or world records and otherwise had no impact on athletes. World Aquatics said that Thomas lacked the legal standing, to challenge its policy because he was not a member of the USA Swimming when he launched proceedings and had not competed to a standard that would have qualified for his international selection in World Aquatic events. It argued, therefore, that he was not affected by the rules. Thomas's triumph in the 500-yard freestyle event in Atlanta in 2022 made global headlines and sparked a major controversy in the United States and beyond over his participation in women's races. The 24-year-old has not swum since competitively, with the CAS panel noting that Thomas did not apply for, let alone be granted for the right to participate in elite events with the United States' own swimming policy. He is currently only entitled to compete in non-elite USA swimming events, and hopefully and I'm hoping it's the men's side of things, but probably not. The hearing then had focused on the question of whether Thomas had the right to challenge the rules, rather than whether the actual transgender policy is unlawful and discriminatory. The precedent then is that any transgender athlete who launches a similar legal challenge must be able to demonstrate that they are directly affected by the policy. I mean, it's good that they threw this case out, because when you sit here and think about it, if they went along with it and said, okay, yeah, we feel sorry for you, whatever, you would then start to see more and more athletes do the same. It would be like a domino effect because they would see one person take advantage of whatever and think, oh, if they can do it, so can I. The British transgender cyclist Emily Bridges has also threatened to challenge the policy. I feel so sorry for these people in his sport after both British Cycling and the global governing body, the Union Cycliste International, produced new rules which excluded transgender women from the female category. So, this is what happens when biological facts come into play in 2024. People get upset. But there's a very famous saying that goes around these days, facts don't care about your feelings. Lia Thomas also told ESPN, the biggest misconception, I think, is the reason I transitioned. People will say, oh, he just transitioned, so he would have an advantage. So he could win. I transitioned to be happy, to be true to myself. Yeah, the sky's red. Thomas had previously been ranked just 65th over the same 500-yard distance in the NCAA Division I's male category. And in 2018 to 2019, when they were competing in the men's division, he ranked 554th in the 200-yard freestyle transition, and then in the women's category finished 5th. But the biological advantage doesn't exist, right? That's what the woke liberals leftists will say. Get out of it, man. Opposition to his racing in women's events has been led in the US by rival swimmer Riley Gaines, with whom Thomas tied for 5th place in the 200 yards freestyle in Atlanta. And let's just go check out what Riley Gaines had to say about this news. Let's zoom in here. Hopefully you can see that. Great news, Lia Thomas won't be able to compete in women's category at the Olympics or any other elite competition. He has just lost his legal battle in the Court of Arbitration for Sport ruling. This is a victory for women and girls everywhere. And she's absolutely right. This is a victory for women and girls everywhere. And again, also common sense. Just imagine if this went the other way. Man, potentially you'd see Lia Thomas, the stunning and brave athlete, competing at Paris this year. Yeah. Man. Now we're going to take a look at some other people who have reacted to this news. Sol Grover goes on to say, he's not barred from anything. He could go to the Olympics on the men's team because he is a man, thus following the same rules as everyone else. And that's another thing, right? In the headlines when they put, oh, transgender athletes banned from XYZ sports, that isn't the case. And that's just used to emotionally guilt trip people, right? The fact is, they're not banned from the sport. They're just banned from competing in the wrong category. They shouldn't be competing in the very first place. They can compete in the sport, just in the male side of things. We also have a reaction from Jordan Peterson, which Riley Gaines reposted. Another defeat for the cheating, lying narcissists and their idiot compassionate enablers. I don't know, man. The man says it how it is, right? Colin Wright goes on to say, WA introduced a new open category inclusive of transgender swimmers. However, the category was cancelled after nobody signed up to enter the field. Nobody turned up. Nobody entered. So that just shows you, for a lot of these athletes, they do compete in the women's side of things just to beat women, just so they have a better chance of winning. If they really loved the sport so much and it wasn't about that, why would they not just go and compete in this category? Or why not just compete in the male side of things? Because they love the sport so much, right? Yeah. Because the slogan that trans-identified male athletes just want to play is a lie. So when these woke leftist liberals say, oh no, they just want to compete against women because they are women. They don't just want to compete against women. They don't want to take their titles, places away. They're women. For some of these athletes, they get a satisfaction from, beating these women in the competitions, which I don't really understand how people recognize it, as some sort of achievement, because it's not. It's cheating. And it always has been, right? It's just now more and more people are obviously waking up to what's going on. Back in the day, we wouldn't clap and cheer for cheaters. People would call it out. But these days, oh no. Yeah, that is completely the opposite. But again, well done to this court for taking the right stand on things here. Because if they went the other way and they allowed Lia Thomas to compete, as I said earlier, I think there would be a domino effect and more athletes would do the same. Apparently already you've got the British cyclist Emily Bridges who wants to sue whatever organization because of their policy. And, as Riley Gaines said, it's a massive victory for women and girls because they shouldn't have to compete against somebody that, as we all know, and as I've stated, shouldn't even be in their category. The Olympics comes around every few years, right? So you have these women who are training all the time for that event. Right, every single day, sacrificing so much. And yet that could have potentially all been thrown out of the window. Years of training just for a male to enter the competition because we live in a stunning and brave society. Whatever. Leave your thoughts down below, ladies and gentlemen, on this story. What are your thoughts on Lia Thomas not being able to go and compete at the Olympics, not being able to compete at the elite level? I'd like to know. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Comment on this video, share this video, follow my socials down below in the description. And until next time, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out.